After you've been in the online education, info, coaching, remote sales space long enough, you will start to notice that certain kinds of personalities gravitate towards this industry, and specific kinds of personalities within that pool tend to succeed quite well. And one of them that I've encountered quite a few times, not here to ruffle feathers or anything, just sharing an observation, is what I like to call the squirrel. What do you mean by the squirrel, Sebastian? Well, the squirrel archetype is the guy or the woman who gets super excited about everything. They are always thinking of these crazy new ideas. They're the ones messaging you at 3 o'clock in the morning because they had this incredible revelation. They're the ones who are just hyped up about everything. They're starting a new offer, it seems like every 2 or 3 months. And their energy is infectious. They're able to get people on their side, on their team, who might have been skeptical, might have been on the fence, and just fill them with this very robust sense of hope and inspiration, and just make them think that, this could work. This is crazy, but I mean, this guy really believes in it. And it's quite funny to observe these kinds of people because they're really good at what I just outlined. They're really good at bringing people in, building up a team, and getting people motivated, especially when things might not be looking like they're progressing very quick. But on the flip side, a lot of them can be quite moody. That's something to watch out for if you're a closer and you're working for this kind of person. Because when things are good, they're good. They're praising you, they love you, they'll shower you with all the compliments, everything. Talk about how, we're gonna do so many great things together. Just give it 6 months, I'm gonna help you build up your own team, all this crazy stuff, which sounds awesome in the moment. And then a week later, lead flow is down, ad accounts got banned, deals aren't being closed as often as before, and suddenly you're like public enemy number one. All the stuff this person said to you last week just seemed to have gone out the door. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. And then they're starting to attack you, and they're just going through an existential crisis. They're absolutely depressed, they're manic, they're yelling, they're screaming. You gotta watch out for this kind of thing. Again, not here to ruffle feathers or poke at anyone in particular, but there are a lot of personalities like this who do get into higher positions because of that optimism, that excitement that I was outlining earlier. But then working with them on a long-term basis, you have to learn to take the good with the bad and recognize that, hey, they might be your best friend today. You might not necessarily want to believe them about that, and then next week, your public enemy number one, you also don't necessarily want to believe them about that either. It's just their mood swings, it's just them oscillating. It's the roller coaster of being the founder. So don't necessarily take their word for whatever it is they're saying to you in the moment, and just remember that that's just their personality type. And sooner or later, they're going to be right back to squirrel mode and being super excited and hyped and motivated and getting you on board with stuff. So me personally, I've always been a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more mellow, a little bit more on the skeptical side when I am seeing an opportunity or what I think is one. And I'm typically not just going to dive right into something. I've gotten better at that, considering that I'm getting on calls with prospects and typically going through a series of decisions and pros and cons on why it makes sense for them to not throw caution to the wind, but make an educated decision about jumping into something, whereas normally they would hesitate. So it's not me being a hypocrite necessarily. Anyways, I'm making this too long. That's the squirrel archetype for you guys. I'm sure you've encountered someone like that before. They're all over the place, and they do quite well because they have that rare level of optimism and excitement and just radical self-belief that some might even call delusional, and yet the numbers speak for themselves. So it is what it is.